Hey guys, I'm Eric, and welcome to the House of Ibon, where all your dreams come true. It's a lot of stuff been going on these past few weeks. Well, probably just the last week. But I wanted to come here and talk about Terry Crews, Kanye, um, some of the Karens, and Jada and Will. But before we even get into that, if you are new to my channel, thanks for coming, stopping by. Make sure you subscribe and like this video before you leave. Okay, if you're returning, thanks for coming back. Now let's get into the movie. What? The movie, bitch, what? Now let's get into the video. Last week that Terry Crews was on Twitter again. I don't understand what is going through his head, but I'm gonna hit him log off and spend time with his kids. I'm using the e.l.f. Cosmetics Poreless Putty Primer. I really like this primer. It really blocks out my pores because I have really bad pores in my T-zone. So, and I've already prepped my skin. For those of you that don't prep your skin before you do makeup, you're gross. You're nasty. But anyway, back to Mr. Crews. So I think last week, or was it this past week or last week? I think it was last week. Terry was on Twitter again, looking stupid, as he always does. And he tweeted, Black Lives, he said something, I'm paraphrasing, but he said something to the effect of, let's make sure that Black Lives Matter doesn't morph into Black Lives Better. And when he first said that, I was like, what are you saying? What are you saying? And this is not his first time doing that. He did it before when he was on, what show was that? I think it was some news outlet or some interview he was on, and the interviewers were asking him how his experience was with, I think, NBC, or it was NBC, right? Something, one of those networks, because Gabrielle Union was having that whole issue of them not respecting her, and so he gave his opinion from his perspective of how the network treated him. I'm going in with my NYX Ultimate Edit Palette. And so he gave his opinion, and then he also got on Twitter during that situation as well. He, from what I observed from Terry, he likes to make these statements and then come back to verify or clarify what he said. You could just say what you mean instead of making these blanket statements, confusing all of us, making us all upset, and then coming back and clarifying. What I think he's doing, we all know what he's doing. He's trying to bait us because he wants to be relevant. If he didn't want to be relevant, he would make his words clear so none of us would be confused, right? Right. He gets everyone upset, and then he comes back to clarify. And like now, he goes on Don Lemon's show. Not Don Lemon. What? Is it Don Lemon? Let me check, because I need to make sure I'm just not saying the wrong name. He went on Don Lemon's show and made another fool of himself. And it's like, how many times are you gonna do this, sir? Because at this point, it's irritating. So at this point, it's like, sir, get off of Twitter. Nobody cares what you have to say at this point. You made yourself clear. And it's like, I understand what his perspective is, saying that we as blacks shouldn't retaliate or treat others like trans women, the LGBT community, people with disabilities. We shouldn't, in our own community, we shouldn't treat them like white people treat us. But if you meant that, why couldn't you just say that? Because not at any point have black people been better than any other race. When have we been better than any other race in terms of treating another race inferior? When? Please inform me when, because we haven't. So that's what he does need to do. He needs to make clear what he's saying. Like, he needs to take his ideas from his head to paper. At some point, he didn't know how to do that in school. Get off of Twitter, Terry, because you're doing the most. And while we're talking about people being on Twitter, let's move on to Kanye. Because, baby, sis has been active, okay? So, Kanye decided to tweet the other day that he was going to run for president. Girl, you ain't running for the president. Because, one, you haven't filed the necessary paperwork in order to be considered a candidate for president. So, at this point, you're really just gaslighting us. And you're doing this to help your little buddy Trump out. Because, one, if you really were going to run for president, you would have had a platform already. You would have had a running mate. You would have done all the necessary things you needed to do. And plus, any person that would even think about voting for you is dumb. Because you have no experience. That was the whole thing with Trump. A person with no experience in politics, in government, in foreign relationships. You have no experience. All you know is people that are in politics. That's all you know, sir. So at this point, you're really wasting everybody's time. And when I first saw the tweet, I think the Shade Room posted it, I took it as a joke. Not a joke where I didn't take it seriously, because that's what the problem was with everybody with Trump. Nobody took him seriously until he won. I won't be making that same mistake. Well, I never did make that mistake, but if he was to run for president, I would really hate it, because he would be taking the votes away, because people would vote for him. I already know that. The same people that they say they're our allies, they would vote for him. And it's like, why would you do that? But anyway, if they were to vote for him, he would be taking votes away from Biden, which would primarily have him lose. So, and all of you Karens, I'm really tired. All of you white women, I'm really tired. Like, y'all are really coming out of the woodwork and doing the most. It's like we cannot walk without you bothering us. We can't go into our own homes without you bothering us. Grocery store, park, sleep, drink. I mean, really. And then your husband's being out here pulling guns on us, trying to kill us. It's going to come a point where we're going to retaliate. Because at this point, it's enough. Enough is enough. I mean, girl. And then it's like y'all still mad because people telling y'all to wear masks. Do you want to die? Speak up. I can't hear you. Like, y'all are really, fighting Corona like it's a person. Like, you can have a discussion and tell her to not infect you. Like, make it make sense. And then for you mayors and governors, open the state, close the state. Open the state, close the state. Wear a mask, don't wear a mask. Protect yourself, but we don't want to enforce it. Make up your mind. Make up your mind. And for Mayor Keisha Bottoms, I'm sorry, I love you, you're black woman, awesome. But did it really take for you to get corona for you to mandate that everybody in the city of Atlanta needs to wear a mask? I mean, just a question. I mean, I just had to ask it, because it makes no sense for all of our leaders to be this negligent. It really doesn't make any sense. And people, like, I've been on Instagram today, and people are continuing to, like, go out. I mean, I don't have a problem with you going out at this point. It's your life. But at least wear a mask. Like, everybody goes out to these restaurants to smoke hookah which I don't. Okay, I guess you missed it so much. I guess, and it's like you could at least wear a mask. I mean, really. I mean, really, you could at least wear a mask. But it's not any of my business. Jada and Will. So if you live under a rock and haven't heard, August Alsina had a interview with Angela Yee from the Breakfast Club, and he was discussing his relationship with Jada Pinkett-Smith, the wife of Will Smith. And so he was saying how he was given the blessing from Will Smith to be with Jada. He was just telling Angela how hurt he was, I guess, by the feelings not being reciprocated from Jada. He was really just, I guess, just airing out his grievances because he seemed really upset. And he was just saying how that was the most love he's ever given someone. And so after his interview got posted all on social media, everybody was going in about it. Somebody that said they were representing Jada Smith and Will Smith said that those statements were false, that there was no relationship with August. I'm going to go in with my L'Oreal Infallible Concealer in Golden Amber. Is this Golden Amber? No, it's Amber. And so that really just shocked everybody because, like, so is he telling the truth or? And so, I think it was like the next day that Jada posted on her social media saying that she was going to say something about this interview, about the whole incident on the Red Table Talk. And so everybody was like, okay, so is she going to actually come out and say what happened between them two, about between her and August? Or is she going to just, use blanket statements and just make us have to figure it out on our own? So I think it came out yesterday. His interview was this past week, and Jada and Will came on to the Red Table Talk, I think just yesterday, and I watched it. And a few things I took away from it. So first, Jada, she didn't really want to say they were in a relationship, her and August, because her and Will was saying that they came into a rough patch in their relationship, in their marriage, and so they really weren't thinking that they were going to be together, which was kind of a shock to me. Well, it's not a shock, but it is, because they, I'm going to bake with my ear song. When you think of Will and Jada, you think of it like a almost perfect relationship, and it's not like that. So that was kind of a shock. So they were talking about how they were separated for some time, and so at that point, that's when August came into their life, and that was when he was sick. I'm not sure what sickness he had, but that was when he was sick. His sister had just died, I think. Somebody else had passed away. He had to take guardianship over his nieces, and so he was really going through it. And so they brought him into their family just to help him out, just to help him out with his health, his mindset, all that. And I'm guessing during that whole time, Jada and Will were separated for the moment, and then Jada and August's relationship morphed into something else. I'm sure they were doing a little something. Because if he, if y'all ever saw that photo of August and nothing but drawers, girl. So Jada wanted to say that she was in an entanglement, describing her relationship with August, and Will's like, so I think you should be clear on what kind of relationship you had with August. And she was like, so what do you mean? He was like, be clear, what was it between you and August? And she was like, yeah, we were in a relationship. And I was like, girl. The way Will was looking at her, it was like, this is kind of awkward. A, just a tad bit. Just a tad bit, honey. They were making it seem like they were so shocked because we were just being told that there was a relationship between August and Jada, which has been speculated for a few years now, but we we as regular people never knew. But they were shocked because this really happened between them at least 3 to 4 years ago. They were like, we're so shocked. It's just so long ago. And August was the one that stopped the relationship between them two. So they were discussing how that Jada wants to, because of past trauma, she is the person that always wants to fix someone. But as we can all tell, Will is not that kind of person. So he wants his perfect life, perfect wife. He wants to be the perfect husband, father, lover. While Jada, on the other hand, wants to be able to fix her partner. And so she was saying how being with August, she felt good again. She wanted to feel good again. That she hadn't felt like that in a long time. So it was a really weird moment. And then at the end of the interview, Will said something that really, I was confused for a moment, but then I backtracked the video for a few seconds, and then he said, what did he say? He said, I'm gonna get you back. And I was like, what? You gonna get her back for what? For being with August when y'all were split up? So what, you gonna go be with somebody else because Jada did that while y'all were split up? I mean, I don't know y'all relationship. I don't know what y'all agreed to do while y'all separated, but that seems kind of childish. I don't know. It seems childish to me, but I'm gonna let you go do your thing. But that whole interview, it was a real shocker because it seems like there had to be some miscommunication between both parties. Because August saying one thing, feeling one way, and then Jada and Will feeling a whole different way. So it's like, y'all should have talked this out, really. Well, you guys, that was the video, and this is the look. I hope you like it. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at House of Yvonne, on TikTok as well. I don't know if they're going to take TikTok away from us here in America, but go ahead and follow me on there. Anyway, you better have subscribed already because I will be dropping more content soon. And you might as well hit that bell so you can be notified of when I do drop new videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.